British Prime Minister David Cameron seems to fight radicalization the English way, while European leaders are coming under increasing criticism for their indulgent and negligent ways handling extremism. David Cameron has a scintillating measure that will still keep the Jihadi Johns, but deport those who flunk the English test. Cameron said there were 190,000 British Muslim women who spoke little or no English, and Britain needed to take on the backward attitudes of some of these men whom he said exerted damaging controls over their wives, sisters, and daughters. British Muslim groups accused Prime Minister David Cameron on Monday, meanwhile, of demonizing their communities by saying that Muslim women needed to learn English to reduce the risk of extremism. Cameron had said some migrants to Britain who cannot pass an English test within 2.5 years of arriving cannot be allowed to stay, a move aimed at fostering greater integration by Muslim women. He said, while there was no direct causal link between poor English language skills and extremism, those who were not able to integrate into British society were at risk of being more susceptible to extremist ideologies. David Cameron said, someone can move to here with very basic English and there's no requirement to improve it over time. We will change that. We will now say, if you don't improve your English, that could affect your ability to stay in the United Kingdom, Cameron wrote in an article for the Times newspaper. Some migrants to Britain who cannot pass an English test within 2.5 years of arriving cannot be allowed to stay, British Prime Minister David Cameron said on Monday in a move aimed at fostering greater integration by Muslim women. Cameron says, separate development and accepting practices that go against our values only emphasize differences and can help prompt the search for something to belong to, he wrote. Community spokesmen have slammed the measure, describing it as counterproductive. Maybe they have a point if they listen to the Jihadi Johns.
Is James Wright Foley, an American citizen of your country. As a government, you have been at the forefront of the aggression towards the Islamic State. You have plotted against us and gone far out of your way to find reasons to interfere in our affairs. Today, your military air force is attacking us daily in Iraq. Your strikes have caused casualties amongst Muslims. You are no longer fighting an insurgency. We are an Islamic army and a state that has been accepted by a large number of Muslims worldwide. So effectively, any aggression towards the Islamic State is an aggression towards Muslims from all walks of life who have accepted the Islamic Caliphate as their leadership. So any attempt...
And it would be really helpful for the Bone household if he could.
...to deny the Muslims their rights...
I do feel now that a very big part of my life is trying to give pleasure to Mrs. Bone. No, in any case. And I know that she would be very happy if the Prime Minister give that undertaking, and it would be really helpful for the Bone household if he could. I do feel now that a very big part of my life is trying to give pleasure to Mrs. Bone.